look at that spider. That's a big one. There are over 10,000 fish in that truck. Oh yes. Look at all those fish coming out. Oh, oh, look at my red ear sunfish friend right here. There we go. Yeah, we got big ones, little ones, bluegill. We just discovered a pretty devastating problem. Gut-wrenching would be the appropriate word to describe it. There's something terribly wrong with the backyard pond. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. We're going to be stocking the backyard pond today, the newly finished, newly expanded backyard pond. And this is going to be the largest fish stocking that we've ever done, with the total number of fish being stocked today well over 10,000. Now, before the fish stocking truck gets here, we do have to take care of a couple chores around the pond, and I also have some devastating news. But first, let's get our fish feeder set up. I finally thought it was time to relocate the old fish feeder. Obviously, this thing was out there on the peninsula. Well, it used to be the peninsula, what is now the island. By the way, the island was completely covered by these white birds earlier. There was literally like 40 of them. We were gonna put this bad boy on the dock. That was kind of an obvious place where we could have put it. A, we didn't want to sacrifice the space on the dock. B, we've actually had a little bit of an incident with one of my daughters almost getting her fingertip chopped off with the little metal blade part that throws the feed out. You know, as the diagram indicates, that your fingers could just get chopped off. Yeah, we had an incident like that with one of my daughters a couple years ago when she was really young. I figured let's keep this thing as far away from people as humanly possible. Another reason we wanted to put the feeder right here was because we wanted to make this cove not just a boat ramp, not just a dock area. We put that gravel here specifically to attract all of the red ear sunfish, the bluegill, the panfish that are going to be in this pond. So I figured, what better place to put the feeder that's going to feed all those fish plus the catfish than right here in this spot. So I got two different types of fish feed. As you can see right here, this is the floater feed, and the catfish do love this, but the brim will eat it too. The only problem with the floating feed is during the extreme months like summertime and especially wintertime when it gets brutally cold, those fish just don't come up for that floating feed, you know? So in comes the sinking feed, which I also got a bag of that. I'm just gonna mix. I'm just gonna do a mix throughout the year. It's not very appetizing looking. It just kind of looks like some really cheap dog food. Yep. So I'm gonna do like halfway filled with the floating, halfway with the sinking. The sinking pellets actually have a complete different look to them. This looks more like the hamster pellets or something, you know? So if any of you guys have a pond, or if you're a fish feeding expert, let me know if there's anything else I need to add into these fish's diet. Let's run a little test feeding right here. Just make sure everything's good. Whoa, whoa. That's what I'm talking about.
Heck yeah, dude.
The fish feeder is now back up and running. It's operational. That makes me feel real good. One of the other things that a ton of you guys wanted us to do out here was to put up some good old trail cams, but not just for hunting like we normally use these things for, but we're actually gonna put some of these around the pond today, and maybe we can catch some animals that have been coming to visit the pond. Another question that I've been seeing a lot of is, whatever happened to that chicken coop, that chicken house, and the goat pen that we used to have? Well, that house is actually right there, and it's actually right by the backyard pond. Well, since you guys are so curious, let's take a look. Now, we have not used this area in a while, obviously, hence why you guys are asking, but I'm gonna take you guys on a little tour, maybe explain, oh, why? Oh yeah, we have not opened this gate in a while. The earth is trying to reclaim this whole entire area right now.
Yes, it is.
So we used to have 2 goats out here, Tina and Tammy, and we love those goats. They were so much fun. They're basically just like pets. They're little, little pygmy goats, the real small ones, the cute ones. Oh man, remember the little house I built for them? I took some pallets, I just kind of slapped them all together, screwed them together, a couple little pieces of metal for the sides and roof. That makes me really sad, looking at the little goat house. So we got rid of the goats. We weren't giving them enough attention, They're social animals, goats are, and they like it when people come around a lot, and my kids were really small at the time, they couldn't really enjoy them. And I just feel like they could do better with other goats. So my buddy Jay actually took them, and they've got goats out there where he lives. So, they're chilling. Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear something slither off or just hear a rattle all of a sudden. Yeah, the old chicken coop itself is looking pretty dilapidated. Okay, the question is, how many massive wasp nests are there out here? I mean, 1, 2, 3?
One, because I see it.
Oh my Lord. There's actually a couple right here. Oh yeah. I think we found our first victim. Oh, I nailed him. And that little right there too. Dude, don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me. They're going crazy. They're everywhere. There's dragonflies everywhere.
Boy, don't hit me.
Ah! Something just crashed into my back. Hey, that was a thick nest, bro.
Dude, and that was on the outside. What's on the inside?
Let's do a perimeter check on the outside first. There's another little one right there. Oh yeah, they're fried. Oh, look at that spider! That's a big one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right over the door to get in.
You go first.
Ha! Let's get him out of there. Oh, where did the spider go? Where'd he go?
Oh,
he's gone.
dude.
He's gone.
That's terrifying.
I remember we had a big wasp problem like inside the chicken coop at one point in time. Where the frick is that spider, bro? He disappeared.
He dipped out.
Yeah, there's definitely some wasp nests in here. I don't know how. Oh, there's a wasp. Oh, there's one right in front of my face. Whoa. Oh. Are you ever like looking for something dangerous and you look, oh, it's right in front of my face.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I am batting 1,000 right now. I'm feeling confident. Oh! I didn't get them that good. Be careful. Oh yeah, there comes one. Dude, I know I didn't get them that good. Okay, I think we've exercised our demons here. Okay, I'm going in. Oh God, this is so stupid.
I'm nervous for you.
You should be, because I'm sure there's one that I'm just not seeing, There's a lot of dirt dauber nests. There's one that I killed. Yeah, we have not had chickens in a long time, but yet we still have eggs and stuff in here. That's pretty funny. We had some pretty good egg production, obviously, before our chickens were taken from us. Oh my God, there's another wasp nest right in front of me, dude. Oh. Ah! Dude, that was right in front of my face. I didn't even see it. Oh my gosh. I gotta get out of here, dude. There's too many freaking things happening. Ah! Okay, let's just seal that up. Let's just call that a win for now. So, the $1 million question, why don't we have chickens anymore? I'd be happy to tell you. So, the thing about chickens are, they're awesome. They're hard to raise initially when you first get them, to keep them alive for the first 6 or 8 weeks, but once you get them to semi-adulthood, they are super easy to take care of. You show them where their coop is, they literally go back to it every single night. We would let them free range, they'd fly out of this pen, they'd go all over the place, but they'd come back here at night. 2 problems started occurring. Problem number 1, we have hella predators out here. I'm talking about everything. Coyotes, foxes, raccoons, hawks, and all of those things prey on things like chickens. I mean, everything in nature loves chickens, not just humans. Number 2, This last batch of chickens that we got had a really bad case of bird flu, and most of them died like after I'd spent 8 weeks trying to raise them. So I just kind of got a bad taste in my mouth and we just kind of quit for a while. The good part is though, we have this pen, we have this chicken coop, we have everything already set up. If we want to do chickens again, all we got to do is wait till springtime, get us a batch, and then raise them up. But that's what's going on with the chicken coop slash animal pen. Before we go any further, I want to show you guys something really cool. I'm sure you will remember the 12-pound largemouth bass that your boy caught out at L&M Lake and Golf Retreat in Rising Star, Texas last year. Well, I had the opportunity to get that fish replica mounted. And I wanted a replica mount because obviously a normal mount means you have to kill the fish, which I never want to do. So we took pictures, we took measurements, and that's all you need to get a replica mount done. So I paid a good little bit of money to have that thing mounted in Texas, and it got shipped to me, but it arrived broken. And it was just completely destroyed when I finally got it after like 9 months of waiting for that mount. I was devastated, but a local shop actually told me, hey, we can fix these mounts that are broken. Let me have them. I'm gonna put the name of the shop right here on the screen. Big shout out to them for helping me. Check out the final product of this 12-pound bass replica mount. There we go. Looks like he could eat my head. This is a proud moment for me right here to have this thing finally mounted, put back together, glued back together, because it was in pieces when I first got it. But that is what a 12-pound Texas largemouth looks like right there. Almost a ShareLunker. I think it has to be a 13 or bigger to be considered in the ShareLunker program out in Texas, but just short of that. If that wasn't cool enough, you guys might also remember the gigantic, almost 4-pound red ear sunfish that I caught with John B out in Arizona at Lake Havasu. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. I also had that fish mounted too, but that arrived in the original package with the broken bass and it was damaged as well. I got that one fixed up as well. Look at my red ear sunfish friend right here. Now, although this thing does look really cool, and you can see, I mean, that's a massive red ear sunfish, but there's a little bit of a caveat here that I need to speak on. This actually is not the real representative size of how big that fish was. The fish that I caught was actually, I'm gonna say it, a lot bigger than this one. My hand kind of like covers this guy. My hand did not cover the one that I caught. It was like an actual dinner plate. But I found out that the blanks that they use to make these replica mounts only go up to certain sizes for certain fish. So for a red ear sunfish, this was the biggest blank that they make. I just happened to be in a world-class region catching world-class fish, and they just didn't have a blank big enough to represent that. But even still, it's a sick mount right there. Look at my guy up there, just hanging out. That actually is kind of sick right there.
Dude, you got to put the bass on the other side now.
Dude, you're right. Boom, baby. Damn, that actually looks kind of cool on the old fishing workbench right here.
Dude.
That wasn't even my plan. I was just putting them there just so they weren't on the ground for right now until I figure out where to actually put them. But that's kind of a vibe right there. Just imagine, we've got red ear sunfish in the backyard pond. Obviously we have largemouth bass too, but we have this exact species, and they're pretty thick in the pond right now. On the feeding earlier, there was a ton of red ear and bluegills that came to that feeder. So I'm trying to grow these jokers to be 2-pounders plus out here. Well, I've got to know if these fish are fired up or not. Well, we know the fish are relating to this feeder and this cove like super heavily. So let me give them a little something to look at. A little saucy right there. Hope I don't hook one of these giant catfish. And I want to find out if I can feel that cover. Oh, I'm on. Oh, I came off. He popped off. I may have got hit multiple times on that cast. Oh, yes, I got fish chasing me in. That's crazy, a bunch of red ear right there. Cut my tail off. Look at that, cut my tail off. They are so aggressive. These red ear sunfish are just becoming some of my favorite fish to go after. Dang things are just so aggressive. Oh, we got him, we got him. Oh, we got us one. What do we got? Yes, sir. That's a bluegill, and he absolutely choked. Crappy rig right there. First sunfish caught out of the pond since the expansion. Absolute beauty right there. And there are some bigger ones in there than this. Okay. This would be a perfect place to teach your kids how to fish, like with artificials. You know what I mean? Like get my daughter right here with the spinning rod in her hand. She's like, all right, just cast this out and just start reeling it in. You know what I mean? And just getting them to do that, and getting bites, and getting her to feel what a bite feels like. Let's make a cast directly at the dock. Definitely got eaten. Oh, I'm on again. First fish from underneath the dock. No! Look at that. Look at that guy right there. A big bass would definitely eat that right there.
Oh yeah.
Some of the best forage for bass is actually bluegill, so that's why we want plenty of these guys in there. We still on that Jocko hydrate, baby. Let's just become a way of life out here. It's too stinking hot to not be putting the right fluids back in. The drain is right here. And there's normally a bass or 2 or 3 hanging out all up in here. Let's just toss this jig. Just gonna start it out there and just slowly bring it in. We also dropped our own structure right there too. Oh! Oh! He was there the whole time. I was fishing all that outer stuff. The big bass was right there. I finally got my jig close enough, and he just appeared out of nowhere and just ate it. No questions asked.
It looked like he crushed it.
No questions asked. But I got kind of a dumb hook set on him with like one hand, and I didn't have very good leverage. And this rod's a noodle with medium action with a jig on it, so that's smart. There's always like a 2 to 3 pound bass hanging out right here at this inflow pipe. Yeah, so he was like tucked in way under here, and that jig got to like, you know, 3 inches of water, got to where you could see it right there, and he just boom, just came up and murdered it. I don't want to ruin the mood right now, because I know we're all feeling really good, we're all really happy because the pond is looking great, everything's cool. However, we've just discovered a pretty devastating problem. Gut-wrenching would be the appropriate word to describe it. There's something terribly wrong with the backyard pond. So I first noticed that there was a bunch of leaves in the pond right in front of the feeder that we just set up. So you guys can see right here, this whole little line of fall-looking orange leaves. We just kind of all stacked up in this cove. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? Because I look around the backyard pond, I mean, all the trees are pretty much green. The foliage has not started changing yet. I mean, if I just do like a quick pan around, you can see all these trees, green, green, everything's real nice and healthy green. Even over there on that side, green, 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 green. But as I pan over here, look at our oak tree. Oh my gosh, it looks so bad. Looking at the tree from this way, you can really tell, I mean, every single leaf on this tree is shriveled up, it's brown, it's dead. Also, the 2 pine trees, this one right here, that's just to the left of it, and this one to the right of it, which it still has a lot of green on it, so I'm not sure if that tree is gonna make it or not. But it looks to me like that pine tree is definitely gonna die, or if not already dead. And this oak tree, the family oak tree, guys, this was the one tree we had to keep, and I just don't think it's gonna make it. We knew when we raised the entire dam up 3 feet all the way around the pond, we knew that we could not dump dirt and fill this little hole in right here, because if you smother the tree roots on an oak tree specifically, they are known to not respond well to that. So we left this area kind of dug out, that way that wouldn't happen, or hopefully it wouldn't happen. But it just seems like throughout erosion, just natural erosion, a lot of this topsoil has just run down into this hole, and I think it's just smothering the base of the tree right there. So somebody let me know. I mean, maybe I could take a shovel and like dig out some of this soil around the root system. Is it even worth doing at this point? Just somebody please let me know. I just feel awful. My wife doesn't even know about this yet. This was her favorite tree, man. This is my favorite tree, probably on the whole property. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news. I didn't want this to turn into a bummer, but I am just bummed out right now. I don't know what to say. And as if to add insult to injury, the old local bird population has really taken to the new dock. Both sides too, they were not discriminatory. They just let it rip. There she is, fish delivery. There are over 10,000 fish in that truck preparing to be integrated into the new pond. So on this order, we are adding over 10,000 eatable, edible bait fish for our bass today. Over 4,000 bluegill of varying sizes. Some of them are gonna be small, some of them are gonna be much larger. About 3,000 more red ear sunfish, AKA shellcracker, which is one of my favorite type of fish, and 4,000 shiners, just straight up bass candy. As you can see, American Sport Fish out of Montgomery, Alabama are the people doing the stocking. They pretty much always do my stockings. Yeah, let's check out what's going on up here.
Bluegill and shellcracker and stuff in that tank there. They're all.
There we go. Yeah, we got big ones, little ones, bluegill, red ears. Oh yes. Got the shiners, bluegill, red ears. Oh yeah, the bass are about to have a feeding frenzy.
That's right.
This gentleman is getting the hose and everything out of the truck. So he takes that, he attaches it to that little canister right there. That's a tank holding just thousands of fish right there. Throws a switch and it just basically just flushes the toilet and sends thousands of fish to their new home. Yep. That's a good size bluegill right there.
See that red ear on that? That's a shellcracker.
Oh yeah, that's clearly a red ear with that pattern. You got the little red spot on the dot right there. Oh, there's another really pretty fish right there. Yeah, oh, look at that bluegill. Now that's a beautiful bluegill right there. Man, they are feisty. They're ready to go, man.
These bigger bluegill here, like that, for instance, and those sizes are ready to spawn right away. You should probably get a spawn from them.
Yeah, because they spawn multiple times a year.
Right. Pretty much every month, except for basically, normally they stop in November. Occasionally it's warm enough in November to get a spawn, but December, January, February, and sometimes March is when they don't spawn, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, you got 8 months of spawning for bluegill, so you got a lot of spawning for bluegill.
So we got to spawn right around the corner for these guys right here, then apparently.
Right.
Oh, my camera just got gnarly. So he checked a moment ago, the water temp of the pond was 76, which is perfect. The oxygen was around 11 is what he said, which is super high. That's really where you want it to be. Of course, we're never really worried about oxygen in a spring-fed pond because we have that constant new oxygenated water that's coming in, but it's nice to know those types of things. Oh, my drone's just coming back. Oh boy. It's landing itself. It's flying itself now. Oh my God. Drone technology, am I right? Inside that one chamber is literally thousands of red ear sunfish and bluegill about to go in the new pond. All right, getting ready. Here we go. Oh boy, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. Oh, there we go. Look at all these fish. Oh, that's crazy. He said there's still a lot more coming. Oh yeah, here comes the flow. Look at all those fish coming out. Just hundreds and then thousands of fish. That's so stinking cool. That was just tank number 1 right there. We've already added thousands of fish. The same thing always happens when we do a fish stocking. If you give it a couple minutes, topwater blowups start occurring all over the pond because all these new fish are kind of acclimating. They're a little disoriented and they're just getting popped out there by the predatory fish. Oh yes, look at those big beautiful bluegill right there. That is a nice size one. I'm sorry, buddy. Go ahead. See, I'm looking for a red ear, but there's a lot of bluegill in here.
Yeah.
A lot of bluegill. Look at those guys. I'm one of those people that believes there is no bad forage for bass. You know, they might have something that is their quote unquote favorite, you know, shad, minnows, shiners, crawfish, bluegill. It depends on where you are, depends on what the bass are in the mood for, depends on what time of year it is. But one thing I know for sure, in the South specifically, sunfish are your go-to when it comes to forage. Bluegills and red ears just happen to be my two favorite ones to target from a fishing standpoint, and they eat a lot of parasites and other things in your pond, and they spawn multiple times a year. So they're just really good hardy fish that are gonna constantly reproduce and spawn. They're fun to catch as well, and they're constantly feeding the bass. So that's why we went so heavy on the sunfish this time around. All right, here comes the shiners, and there they go. Oh my gosh, there they go. It just never gets old, man. I know. Oh yeah, bunch of shiners still just kind of swimming around out here, just figuring out their new lives in their new pond. So crazy how many fish are getting transferred from this tank to that pond just in like 10 seconds. I've already seen a couple top water blow-ups. It's starting to happen. And just like that, the stocking's over. It's always so like, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but it's like when you order 10,000 fish, you know, you want to see like 10,000 fish. And I probably only saw like a couple hundred fish, but it's all good, it's fine. Got a bunch of bait fish sitting here by the old dock pylons. Not sure if you guys can see them that well. Oh, I just spooked a bunch of them out of there. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of fish out here. This cove is going to be a big fish magnet. I'm telling you right now, between the fish feeder being there now, all the giant red ears, the aggressive bluegill, and the big catfish that we still have roaming around, this cove is gonna be tight. All right, for all the people that wanna know specifics, I actually ordered 2,500 copper-nosed bluegill, the 1 to 2 inch version, 2,500 1 to 2 inch red ear sunfish, another 1,000 of the 3 to 4 inch copper-nosed bluegill, so actually 3,500 bluegill total, then 5,000 2 to 3 inch golden shiners. So totaling about 10,000 fish, but I had the breakdown kind of wrong. So that just leaves the matter of how much did this pond cost, right? Like that was one of the most asked questions. It's funny because Bama Baz actually just put out a video like a week ago talking about how much his pond cost. So I'm guessing he got asked that question quite a bit too, and I'm happy to answer it. Now, as he explained in his video, every pond's different. So, you know, definitely don't take what I say and apply it to something that you might want to do. This is just how much it cost me to do this project. And we're talking about all inclusive, right? I'm going to include the price of the boat ramp installation, the dock being built, like the wood, the total cost of the labor of everything. Obviously, all of the pond work, all of the heavy equipment that was rented, and the labor is the really expensive part on a job like this. So I can't give you like an exact figure, but I can tell you that it was right around $60,000 was kind of everything together. When we set out on this project with me and that builder, I kind of told the person that I'd like to keep the whole build under 50K. That was kind of where I wanted to keep it comfortably. And I should have known that as soon as you set a budget, you're gonna go over it. You know, it's just how the world works. But the pond itself probably costs around $50,000 to do all of that digging, dirt relocation, reshaping, all that heavy equipment, the diesel fuel, the labor, blah, 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 blah. But then once you factor in the boat ramp, the dock, some of the tidying up things that we did, that pushed it from 50,000 up to 60,000 all in. So all in all, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that, you know. We did go technically over budget, but I also didn't factor a boat ramp and a dock into the original estimate. So I think that it all worked out okay. Of course, it is a super bummer to talk about this dead oak tree and that whole thing. I mean, what else is there to say? You know, we kind of were fearful that it was gonna be a casualty of this whole process, but we were really optimistic that it was gonna make it, and she's just not gonna make it. Hopefully the wife will forgive me one day, but I have a feeling I'm gonna spend quite a few years trying to make this up to her. All in all though, we're still very happy with the pond and how it turned out. No regrets in life, baby. I don't regret anything. Glad we did this. The pond is so beautiful now. I've already seen a bunch of topwater blow-ups, so the local bass are definitely taking a liking to their new friends. So there you have it, folks. That's everything for today. We did a lot in today's video. We talked about a lot of things going on with the pond. We did a lot of things to the pond, and I think you guys would agree with me. The pond is now in a really good place. We just need to wait, let the fish do a little bit more growing, have us do some more fishing here and some more adventures. Still got some island activities coming up very soon too. I hope you guys stick around for every single bit of it. Hope you guys stay subscribed. Thank you for being here with me. I love you guys. I'm out of here.